Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Political tension has been heightened in a southeastern state called Ebonyi State after His Excellency Dave Umahi decamped from PDP to APC, and he took out time in a widely circulated media to brief the Ebonyi State Security Council members about what is happening, which ended up indicting a lot of persons who are topmost politician in Ebonyi State. And what did he say during that media? He opened up that some persons whom he classified to be top politicians are engaging cultists, and according to them, some IPOP members to start killing and cause crisis in Ebonyi State in the name of fighting Ebonyi State government and the governor. And he did mention that the leader of the move against the Boni people was actually Senator Anyim, Pius Anyim, and also that he is doing this with the following people: Dr. Sam Egu, Senator Obinna Ogba, Mr. Ali Odefa, and others. And he is directing the security agencies to ensure implementation of policy on tinted glasses of vehicle in the state, the use of siren, and then their police escort. If they try to fight the state, this will be their last fight. They will not fight again. That was what Ebonyi State Governor had to say after some days of his decamping. He started fighting against some political weights who belong to, the PDP. And Senator Sam Egu came up, Dr. Sam Egu, who had been one-time governor of Ebonyi State, came up because his name was in the list to defend himself that, hey, I don't know what this guy is talking about, that if anyone is in doubt of it, that he has no idea of engaging cultists and IPOP members to fight against the state, that the security should jump into action by investigating him, and they will know that he is clean. But Anyim Pius Anyim did not say anything. But guess what? He has finally spoken. And the open letter he's writing to Governor Dave Umahi on his wild, infantile, and utterly senseless accusation against him. He sent a copy to the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Inspector General of Police, Director General, State Security Service, and also the Chief of Defense Staff. I'm going to read exactly the content of that open letter so that you hear the level of crisis that is ongoing politically, that is ongoing in Ebonyi State. According to him, he said, I would not have bothered to respond to this garbage by a sinking man, but for the compelling need to put the record straight and forewarn the public about the sinister plan of a man who personifies everything ignorable, shameless, and despicable. Governor Umahi is pitiably delusional. He is a prisoner of his greed and inordinate ambition. Here is a drowning man looking for who to drag down with him. Governor Umahi has made his worst mistake after his latest misadventure by taking on me and other noble and respectable sons of Ebonyi State who have served and continue to serve our dear state with resolve, commitment, dedication, and integrity. The case at hand in is his defection to APC on the 19th of November 2020. The discerning public knows that he has been on the plan for a long time, and when he decided to consummate it, he suddenly concocted an accusation against PDP that PDP was not willing to zone presidency to the southeast. When he spewed this allegation, he would not even mind whether they make sense or not. He did not have the mental capacity to reason that no party is less than 2 years into a new term will bring the next election onto the front burner. That even in APC, where he has gone to, the issue of next election is not yet on the table, as doing so would distract the government. People who know Governor Umahi would know that he normally starts this way whenever he is hatching a sinister plan. He raises doors, make wild allegation and accusation against people just to divert the attention of the public before he strikes. It's public knowledge that Governor Umahi has been planning his defection to the All Progressive Congress APC for a long time. In his delusion, he believes his own lies that he is the only man who matters in Ebonyi State. He did not consult with anybody notable before consummating his defection to APC. After his defection, no person of note followed him. Unable to contain and manage the unsavory reaction from the public, he ran to my home in the company of some high-profile people on the 20th of November 2020 and pleaded with me to defect to APC, saying that if I do, others will follow suit. I pointed out to him that his approach has made it almost impossible for anyone to defect. He pleaded with me that I cannot. He pleaded with me that if I cannot defect now, I should not attend any PDP meeting. And I said, no, I must attend PDP meeting as long as I am in PDP. He realized that he would not persuade anybody when he saw the cream of Ebonyi elders and citizens that gathered for the inauguration of PDP caretaker committee. He could no longer sleep and declare war on everyone who had refused to defect with him. I would not have taken his present spew of baseless allegations seriously, but because I suspect he is under a spell and perhaps something is pursuing him, he may have been told that he will need to kill before he would achieve his present enterprise. And so, to build up a scenario for him to kill, he will need to spew allegations of killings even when they make no sense. I have no doubt that Go.Umahi may have been told that he needed blood to accomplish his present enterprise. Otherwise, how can a man in his 60 years or 60 years as governor of a state suddenly realize that a former president of the Senate, a former governor of the state, and two-time serving Senator Dr. Sam Egu, Senator Obinna Ogba, two-time serving senator, are now cultists and IPOP members? Something is wrong somewhere. It is obvious that either something is pushing Governor Umahi or that he is pushing something. For those who know him well, please notice that his lips have shifted out of shape and his eyeballs shrinking. Something is pushing Governor Umahi. Let me just laugh a little bit there. Governor Umahi modus operandi are well known and his moves are easily predictable. The three examples below will elucidate this point. Number one, the case with Pastor Ephraim Ononye. Pastor Onunye was the pastor to Governor Umahi's campaign organization in 2015. Midway into his term, he requested the pastor to start praying for the next term. The pastor declined to be part of his second term agenda. He was so enraged that he walked the pastor out. The following day, he accused the pastor of murder and that he was running an illegal school. He unleashed security agent against the pastor. The pastor's school with about 900 people was closed till today. On the 2nd of June 2017, while the church was having a night vigil with some widows, he sent security agent to go and close the church. They manhandled and threw the women out into the rain, and 7 days later, one of the women died. That wicked act has continued to haunt Governor Umahi till date. It is obvious that the spirit of error has come upon him. Governor Umahi was told that the only way he could win the election was if he eats on the street. Governor Umahi quickly organized a state banquet on the street at Udenzi roundabout, and Ebonyi people attended without knowing that it was a ritual dinner. Only Governor Umahi knows how many Ebonians that have died mysteriously after that dinner. Oh my God. Governor Umahi is the only governor in Nigeria that organized dinner on the street. Since I got to know the reason behind the street dinner, I stopped attending his function. After he won the election, he arranged for his close associate to reconcile the pastor and himself. When he was asked why he did not keep his promise, he replied that he was not God that kept promise. The second case is the case of Professor Bernard Ifeanyi Odo. Professor Odo was the first of the three SSGs he had so far. When Professor Odo could not fit into his various schemes, he decided to resign with a widely publicized resignation letter. Governor Umahi was so offended and he hit back by setting up a committee to probe the Agri Loan Disbursement Committee, which the former SSG chaired. The former SSG responded by writing to EFCC to thoroughly and properly investigate the agri loan saga, as he was ready to provide all information relating to the purported loan transactions. When Governor Umahi realized that the former SSG was not intimidated but ready to spill the beans, he backed down, and nothing till date is head of that committee. He had since reached out to the former SSG for a trust, but the man rebuffed him. The public should be aware of Governor Umahi's use of wild allegation as a weapon. I am sure if the former SSG had agreed to a peace meeting, he would have apologized. And if you ask him, why do you lie? He will say that he is not God that speaks the truth. The third case, he said the case of Charles Otu. Charles Otu is a journalist in Abakaliki. He wrote an article that was offensive to the governor. On the 3rd of June 2017, while he was at a newspaper stand, a bus with the inscription Akubaroha Youth Vanguard pulled up, and at gunpoint he was dragged into the bus and taken to one corner of Governor's house, Abakaliki, where he received severe beatings until he passed out, and they dropped him on the street. Up till today, Mr. Tu is yet to regain his full composure. When Governor Umahi boasted to the two journalists he accused of offensive article that if they think they have the pain, that he will show them that he has koboko. Charles Otu's treatment is what Governor Umahi means by koboko. The two journalists, Mr. Sh0cking Agu and Mr. Peter Okutu, should thank their God that the public outcry that greeted the governor's outburst saved them from the koboko treatment. Who knows whether they would have come out alive, as many never did. But for lack of space, the examples can go on and on. The purpose of this response is to alert the public and the security agencies in particular on the scheme of Governor David Umahi, so that they will read him up front and be wary of him and his allegation. Accordingly, all concerns should note as follows. Number one, I believe that Governor Umahi needs help. He was not in this shape when I picked him. His present behavior is certainly not normal. His behavior and utterance are strangers whenever he puts on the costume for the new enterprise, an oversized white agbada and an elongated red hat that oversizes his head. I want to advise his brothers to seek psychiatric and psychological help for him before it is too late. Oh my God. This man talking to an excellency like this. And number two, he said the only offense we committed is that we refuse to follow Governor Umahi to his political adventure. We do not know when belonging to parties of one choice has become an offense against a governor, or a means fighting a governor. Number three, it is clear that Governor Umahi may have been told that he needs to kill a high-profile person in order to achieve his mad ambition. Ebonians should be wise, and those he is preparing to use for the killing should know that after using them, he will also plan to kill them to cover his track. Example abound. Security agency, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, and judges should note that Governor Umahi has boasted as follows: that one of the gains of his defection is that he has been promised absolute use of security agencies for all that he desires to do. That the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation is his friend and will soon visit Abakaliki the second time, and that he will use him to deal with those opposed to him using the EFCC, that he will extensively use the courts to not only make it impossible for PDP to function in the state, but also to frustrate those opposed to him, including sending them to prison. My advice is that all those concerned about should be wary of Governor Umahi, so that he will not tint their soul and ruin their career, because all his actions and scheme have black sides. To notify the public that I fully understand that what Umahi meant by "this will be the last fight I will fight" is that he will kill me so that I will not live to fight again. While I invite the security agencies to note this plan, I want to assure Governor Umahi that my blood is not available for him in the pursuit of his ambition. To assure the street dinner governor that no amount of blackmail or intimidation will compel any of us to follow him. Governor Umahi should know that there is a record of those who died mysteriously, violently, and those who just disappeared since he became governor of Ebonyi State. On my part, I will continue to pray for him to recover from his delusion. God bless Nigeria. Anyim Pius Anyim, GCON, former president of the Senate, former secretary to governor of the Federation. Oh my God. Would I say this is really uncalled for? Well, this is the fight of the mighties. Who can question them except God? Let's allow them to continue.